Adishima memu nyina adwoe ha eye UTV Shiphouse Abeka Junction enkran ye wo memu ni amano ne nsema ya boaboa no eno na ne bre aso sekasebo a ye kenkan e di amamwe kasebo e di ebe this sweet chocolate drink koko papa na ye dia ye na de ohia nso eye enso hye afa special ice ensuo ni e de papa ensuo ni e kakasebo e di kana be bia edometresia nso obekona special ya dia odi ne hene e wo pa special drinks nso e wo edwa so flavors bebre malt strawberry cola and malt ni nyina ebi wo ma e de papa enwumakwe kabo na omuso emu a ne de kasebo no e mamo ensem bebre na mo bete yen hwade die edi kasebo emu akotene bi ene se covid-19 test no a ye no aso ye a ehwe apomode ho nsam so de atodwa se labs ahodo ni nyina obia ebe ya ma yenyi ni sika onye ni free no onko se de be ya ebe mo manfo opepa amotu saa na Supreme Court and semi mpanyufo etu ahye ochina asem pipo nankasa obekoso Supreme Court abo Owura John Dramani Mahama ene la lawyer fo nsam a wo mo de beto wanim ese be ya nka wo mo kwan na nka wo mo sanko tintim ensam bi emeka de wo mo de abeto dada ne ho no wo mo anyanto Lawyer Frank Davis e de futuo emma NDC for say ekobaso mbe bia e wo election petition sam no emu a CI 99 wonfanya adwuma COVID-19 ya de no aba beto dwa se kwa na ekoso a ha adwempe ye se o manfo ye hwe ye hodie e wo Ghana Education Service agda enhye mapebia di a wode beboa aboye ma no ene akyerkyerefo ho ban COVID ebrei emu Ensema bufo bi kan wenum ho ana anadwe anuanum mienu yaje adwa ye de esomo ama Sarpong Kumankuma jesi nene obahima Afia Asiedu Afia yenhwe ensem no ankasa Asue ya ehwe apomuden ehon nsam so de aba abonten na de woka ni nyina ne se laboratories ahodo ya ewo mamu no wo hye wonum ada Ghana ni be biada eba ho se wo ono anante aba eba be ye COVID-19 test no a wonum sada Roma ma wonyi wonum esika wonye emfama wonum nemom se bia ahoho ana set wonum aframanfo yi bi eba no oba be ye de a wo mu de ebo a ye gi wo mu no a enyina de egina se de mpanyimfo ahyehye no na asoye no ekyeremu a wo se COVID-19 sa test no said ye be ye na be mo manfo etimi anya akukodo aso afirifie se ma me nkọ na me nkọ hwe yenhwehwemu nhwe se bi obi ana me ni bi ene contact tracing ebetumi akoso nti na wo tu sa agina yeyi Ghana fo dodo no ade tudwa se ebo no ne bo edene ha wonom enti ontumi nye sa ywe beboa amanipa dodo no atumi akohwe se obi ana oni bi na acting chief director na wa edema Ghana Health Service yeru akwabna boadu oko aferi na de sansem wetu dwa ni nyina nkamfo no wokyesa asante mantam si aye kasai yade na ma ne homne so papa ya ha dwen wo musi na nkadu nwotwepe na no ma record wa asante mantam wo afedie wonu behu ase January bosom de toso dumiensa yade ya peja afi 2021 akwa afi no manya nipa edun edioso enkron na chese anu ayede na ma wo mu enti se de ekeka kono a egi bum e mane ba kono se ya hwe ye be kakra santimantam se ye nya ba bi mfa nipa enwu enti ha adwen pa weyi enam so ema asantimantam mu opanyina wone amansa twetwe enkomo edema Ghana Health Service Dr. Emmanuel Tenkran ede ato edwase wasrada mantam ni mu de ande edwane se ye o mu keka de abanyina aboa ano a 511 yes wo bo ase de ho no wo nko akita mako aduanan ya ha adwen enti Ghana fo nya asobrache yenkoye test no yenkrakra ye hu ye se de be ya yade no enkunye ye ko Supreme Court nsensam no emom na ene Supreme Court mpanyifo ko asetena no asema wo nyina anoko benkroma wo ka ene se abaton petitioner NDC for edibeto mabama so no watu ade ahye ochena January busumi ne de to so aduonu enkron na asem people nankasa ombekoso na omahye ni die no ase na Chief Justice Kwesi Enini Eboa ene ne mpanyifo ahoro be se enwotwe ka ne ho ema wo ye enkron no ene omu di kan etena ase na asema NDC for ene wa lawyer for edi nkan de koto wanim no nanka wo se court ne say ejinense bi a wo mudi kan si ya wo botugu yi say wo makwan e ma ensemisa mako edumienu bi wo misa electoral commission chairperson ma me Jane Mensa no enka court no sanye review no sesa na dwen bio e makwan e ma ensemisa no emra eno no wo ebotugu yi de atoso mienu nso ene wo che say wo paragraph 28 bi a wo mudi kan de baye no e ho nso wo ye mfomso enti nka wo makwan yen na wonyi sa paragraph 28 ni fio no fa krata afoforo mehye anemu eno nso empanyufo ebotugu yi esan se na a lawyer for ema na nado danko akufuado eni electoral commission for no wo empene so kra enu achi ansa na atemuafo na nkasa etna sem no so esi gina se NDC for ebe kansa ekye wo ma wogituma enyeye esan se wo wotumi eni baabi a ekrakra wo mo so ye adwuma kodu ntina enyade a wo bepene so
yet also was Supreme Court dia na mpanyimfo enkono ya watitie ya wo hwe abato ayeto ye homa nso a abedan ho no owura John Dramani Mahama aloyafo edekọ ekodan court no se wo Supreme Court wo mo pese wo mbede enkrata bi ebeka de wo mo ede aba dada no ehune chese nsama enkrata no wo mo de nsem ni bi ebepi so na na court no chese wontumi ema ne kwan sanse ekwan ya aloyafo egina mu ma owura no epese wo de ensem ne fa so no wo mutumi hye court no ese omunye de wonom epe enfa ema wo
file a supplementary statement of case for leave to add an additional ground of review and for leave to file further submissions in respect of our application for review. Now, that application was refused by the court. You heard the superior arguments of our counsel on the matter. Our counsel presented authorities, several of them, in which the court in the past has actually granted leave to applicants before the court to file supplementary statements of case. Our application was refused. Now, it's unfortunate that these rulings that are coming out of the court are so short. In the past, especially in 2013, we had detailed reasoned rulings on why applications were either granted or refused. That has not happened this time. Now, when you examine or when you listen to the ruling of the court, the only reason they give is that the rules do not allow for it. So if the rules do not allow for it, why has it been permitted in the past? And so we think that the petitioner is not being treated fairly in these circumstances. And it's unfortunate, but we have to say it as it is. The petitioner is not being treated fairly. Now, counsel for the petitioner made reference to a specific case, Elistamaklo, in which that related to an application for leave to file supplementary. Now, that particular case, they were allowed to file a supplementary statement of case. The Supreme Court claims that it's distinguishable from this one. We disagree because we believe that the intent of filing these supplements is to aid the administration of justice, but it was refused.
Yeah, that's why I was Supreme Court in Sensam no emo. Na ebra ene atemuafo no ebo ensama NDC for edibaye I was Supreme Court wo egu ye no. En na nado danko akufuado ne lawyer Frank Davis ababonten edi tu dwa say NDC lawyer for no person mo ba court ho no wode ensem bia eba dia ene wo kai wo se adaroma CI 99 eno na wo mfanye ejuma.
When we come to court, we are guided by procedure. It is not what you decide to do in court. It is the procedure of the court which governs proceedings in that court. My good friend Marietta blew upon Afia, who was the Attorney General of the Republic. So is my other very good friend Dr. Dominic Akyere, who was the Deputy Attorney General. It was in their time as leaders of the bar when the CI 99 was drafted and passed into law. I think it's unfortunate for Marietta to stand before you and make those comments that she makes. The law is not about what you want, it is about what you will get. And this business of they're talking about fair hearing and all that, in one of the authorities that their lead counsel, Mr. Tajikaka, quoted, it was stated quite clearly there that speedy hearing is synonymous to fair hearing. So I don't know what this fetish it is about. Expedition being sacrificed for justice. In the case that he himself, Tajikata, quoted, it was speedy hearing is fair hearing. And I don't really get the complaint. When you come to court and your mind, with all due respect, is jaundiced, that you should expect a certain ruling from the court. That is what is occasioning you when the ruling goes against you. In the courtroom, I heard my sister Marietta also saying that their lead counsel preferred superior arguments. Really? Superior arguments. Indeed, if the arguments were superior, 9 justices will not find that argument not superior. So that position they are canvassing is neither here nor there. In any event, if you are emotional about a ruling, that is what you will get. And at the JSC, in one of the celebrated cases in our civil jurisprudence, had this to say in a case which came before the Supreme Court, in Mechanical Lloyd versus Nati, that a review application is not an emotional reaction to a ruling of the court or to an unfavorable judgment from the court. At all material times, you should lead exceptional circumstances and discovery of new matters which are not available to you at the time the ruling was being rendered. The same emotional sentiments in court is the same emotions which have been replayed here by Marietta. I'll urge my friends on the other side that since we are all contesting this election petition on CR 99, they should address their minds to the dictates of CR 99. And this business of His Excellency the President Nana Akufo-Addo being granted leave in the 2013 election petition to serve interrogatories on the EC. And this time round, the petitioner, John Dramani Mahama, is being refused. You see, we should not reduce the practice in our cause to ad hominem applications. That because something happened the last time, it should happen this time round. The election petition of 2013 was not governed by CI 99. See, those are the differences.
Director General Edema Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumankuma,
the total number of positive we have ever recorded is about 63,883. We have tested about 757,000 plus, with a cumulative positivity of 8.4%, and our current active cases is roughly about 3,940. We have recorded 390 deaths so far, and you can see that there's been a rapid escalation in the last few weeks of the number of deaths. Today we are reporting a new total new cases as at 25th of 2025 cases, and the majority, as we keep saying, are in Accra, not Accra Metropolitan, Ashanti second, followed by Western. Currently, all 16 regions have active cases, but as at this current report, 10 regions did not report any new case. So only 6 regions reported a new case in this reporting period. All of them had no case, which is a good sign. The number of contact rates about 330. The total number of contacts listed in this as at 27, that's just January, is about 8,679. contact listed for just yesterday was 536 new contacts. So far, we followed about 8,043 contacts, and out of them, 283 of these 8,000 contacts have turned positive, giving a positivity rate of 3.5% of those who were contacts. And once again, once you look at Epic, I think you can see that it's still you look more at the last spike, which is what we are dealing with. We are hoping that we may see either a plateauing or stagnation or whatever it is to see how the numbers may start coming down, depending on what we do. And I believe that we have all seen some improvement in the adherence to the protocol, but I think if we continue, we'll be able to do much better than we are doing.
Ghana Education Service in Penufo HSA, Sabria Yabia schools, our Ghana Fanai Enyano, what the Enshema Pebi Eguaquam, I bebo and Kodano, any Acheche from buying our COVID-19 every emo.
As part of the reopening, as I've indicated, we disinfected all schools. We had our Veronica buckets, soaps, sanitizers, tissue papers, that is the wash facilities provided for all schools. We have our reusable face masks. We also indicated that there will be no mass gathering on school campuses, no sporting activities and sporting events. Dining hall will be attended in batches for senior high schools, boarding students, and then no outside activities. We've taken a couple of steps to ensure that the school reopening goes on smoothly, and the guidelines is on COVID-19. We worked on this with the collaboration of Ghana Health Service and our development partners. We launched an official back-to-school campaign at Manchabuena to educate, inform, and get people to know that schools are reopening. We have also, last week, visited schools as part of the International Education Day, the UN International Day for Education, all trying to get people to get back to school. We're working with Ministry of Information, Ministry of Health to run a couple of adverts and programs on air to also educate people on the back to school, and especially the do's and don'ts as far as school reopening is concerned.
Yadaswa ejira yagumesua ho nsam ne covid yemu na wansantwofo nhye mo ase na Director General de Ghana Education Service obenefo akwasi opoko amakwade atu edwase na watwe yebesim no mbetu abofo abomako schools akodro na kohwe se anyenyim bia covid hyehyeye no odi.
On the area of schools, so far, Prof, we've been quite, so far we've not reported any major areas apart from the Upper West one, where apart from the 3 from 2 schools, 2 were from 1 school, and then the 3rd from a 2nd school.
The next important assignment for us is to constantly monitor the schools and see how well they are doing. So come next week, as we did in the previous reopening, we're going to have teams from the national, from the regional and the district levels to go around to monitor and pick out the issues as and when they come. And these teams at all levels include Ghana Education Service, Ghana Health Service, our local assemblies, and then our various staff at all the levels to ensure that we are able to do a thorough monitoring and give a good evaluation and resolve the issues as they come up. We also want to draw attention to the fact that the home learning support, the online, the Ghana Learning TV and radio are still working, and we will ask parents to encourage their wards to also go online or watch those programs or listen to them to support their learning whilst they are at home.
Owura Kwajo Kumankuma de obofo ebisa ne nsem na ochem say de obetumi aka ne say ye kase ye ka data say bia nipa dodo a wo monam ekwan a enye papa so efa ya hye so bewura Ghana ha ye nchema onhu enti de obetumi aka ne say ne tensini ni tietiem no covid akosro ye borders yatum.
You see, all this COVID-19 response program, as we keep saying, is the data and the science that is guiding. There are things that you may think it is true, but the data will not support it, or the data does not support it. And it's not a crime if we tell you that the data does not support that which you think is true. So, for example, borders. There's no data today that suggests that illegal entry through borders is contributing to the increase. The data today shares with us clearly a scenario that says that you can see people through the Kotoka International Airport who are testing positive. That is not illegal border entry. You can see people in workplaces who are having outbreaks and are testing positive. There's no data today suggesting that X person came in, and when you trace is because he came in through the borders here and there. So what I can say to you is that our borders remain closed. Our security agencies continue to man those borders. They were not closed for any political purpose. Our security agencies continue to man those borders. Second, the $150 antigen test at the airport, as we've said a number of times, those tests are administered by a private organization. So it's not government that is taking that $150. Government had to select that solution because it is what gives us a very fast, or the fastest way to know whether you are positive or not, and therefore allows us to open our airport but protect the Ghanaian population. Now, before you board from your country of origin, you have to demonstrate that you have paid for the test. If you haven't paid for the test, the airline will not let you board. So you can hear a rumor that somebody came in and paid somebody and entered, but you cannot board if you have not paid for the test. Those are the rules that have been laid down, and it is our understanding that those rules are being respected.
And then for yes, Ramona Yaton Kraba.